Welcome to this video program. Today we are having Dr. Manorma Tripathi, Deputy Librarian JNU with us. She will be discussing the topic document processing and organization. She will describe how documents are processed in libraries and how they are organized in the library after processing. Now we will ask Madam to give her presentation.
As we all know, libraries procure reading material in different forms like books, periodicals, serials, newspapers, dissertations, CD-ROMs and so on and so forth. These reading materials have to be processed before they are put on shelves for circulation and use. And so we can say these processing work refers to all activities which are undertaken before the books are put on shelves for circulation and use. Now coming to what is the need of this processing work. This processing work helps in preparation of documents for use. It ensures identification and ownership of library on reading material. It also preserves and prolongs the shelf life of the documents. Processing work comprises two components. First, physical processing. Second component consists of further two parts, that is classification and cataloging. Now coming to physical processing of documents. As we know, the acquisition section is responsible for procuring all the documents of the library. As a book is received in the library, first it is verified with its bill. Once it is verified, at this stage itself, the staff inspects the book in order to ensure that the book is in proper condition. In case it is found to be damaged, mutilated or torn, the vendor is contacted to replace the book with another copy. Then accession number is provided. After accession number, as we know, is the unique number which is provided, which is assigned to each and every document which is received by the library. After inspecting the book and providing accession number, books are checked to find out if they have proper binding. Library receives certain books which have very tight binding, and such books are difficult to use because they do not remain open on a particular page for long. In such cases, such books are inspected and their binding is loosened. Further, opening of uncut pages. As we know, books are printed on big sheets of paper. These big sheets of paper are then folded and bound into books. Then naturally, books folds are not open, they have to be trimmed in order to bound them into books. At times the trimming may not be deep enough to cut the folds, so books are checked in order to ensure that all pages are cut properly before they are sent for further processing. After this, reinforcing paperbacks. Books are received in libraries as hardbound or as paperbacks. Books with paperbacks, they are vulnerable to fast damage because of constant handling and use by the students. So these books, they are segregated and they are reinforced with simple paperboard bindings. Then identification of books. Libraries put simple labels in order to provide a simple form of identification on the books. This discourages theft by the students and further ensures that lost books are returned to the library. Stamping as proof of ownership. Libraries also stamp their books in order to show that books belong to the libraries. Books are stamped at different places. For instance, they are stamped on the title page, they are stamped at the back of the book, and libraries stamp them at a confidential page. For example, a library may stamp its book on page number 21 or 51. This libraries may decide this page number may vary from library to library. This is a new book which has been received by the library. Then it is stamped, you can see it is stamped on all the sides. Then this label is put in order to provide a proof of ownership. Then this is date slip which is put on the book. Name of the library is there, and when the book is issued to the student, the date of return is stamped over here. This book is stamped on page number 21 The libraries may decide to stamp it on any confidential page. Then the book is stamped at the back too. After this book cards are pasted on the book. This is known as book pocket. Book pocket is very essential because it holds the book card. Book cards are essential for when the books are issued to the students. Book cards are retained with the reader's ticket and the book is issued out. In some libraries, they may decide to put name of the library and name of the university on the book pocket itself. For example, this is a book from our Indira Gandhi National Open University Library, and you can see the book pocket, it bears the name of the university as well as name of the library. Once the physical processing of the book is over, the book is sent to technical section of the library for further processing the books technically. The technical section of the library does classification and cataloging of the new books. Classification, as you know, is a process of grouping together similar or like entities. It brings system and order among entities. And in library environment, classification is responsible for bringing organization, system among the books. Books are assigned a particular code or number according to a particular scheme of classification which a library uses, and that particular code or number represents the subject matter of that book, and books are arranged according to the subject matter of that book. For instance, all books belonging to economics will be kept together in a sequence, whereas all books belonging to some other subject, say science and technology, will be kept in a different sequence. So this is where a system is introduced by using classification or scheme of classification. General libraries like university libraries or school libraries which have collections spanning all subjects, they use schemes of classification like DDC or colon classification or Library of Congress classification. But libraries where collection belongs to a particular subject, they use special schemes of classification. Examples of special schemes of classification are, say, British scheme of education, London's scheme of classification for music, and so on so forth. So, in classifying a particular book, first its basic subject is decided upon. The basic subject of the book can be decided upon by looking at the title of the book or by looking at the contents page. In case the library professional has problem in deciding upon the basic subject of the book, help of the subject experts can be sought. Once the class number is formed, book number is added to the document by using author tables. So this way, after classification work is complete, the book is classified. Library may use ACR2R or classified catalog code for cataloging. Classified catalog code was introduced by Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, and in cataloging, main entry is prepared, shelf list is prepared, and after that added entries and reference entries are also prepared. Cataloging is an important job. As you know, a catalog, it is a list of holdings or items held by a library. It helps users in finding out what are the collection, what are the books which are available in the library on a particular subject by a particular author, what are the different editions of a particular book. So cataloging is very important. Then what are the different tools for cataloging? Library uses a catalog code. It may decide upon which a particular code has to be used, for example ACR2 or classified catalog code. Then list of subject headings has to be used, for example Library of Congress subject headings or Sayers subject headings. Dictionary of Indian names and language dictionaries are also important in order to carry out the cataloging of books. Once the technical processing of the books has been done, other activities are undertaken like generation of barcode labels. Barcode labels, they are pasted on the book at different places. For example, on the spine of the book, at the back of the book, under the due date slip. This is the barcode label. which has been generated once the class number has been decided upon. This barcode label, it bears class number, book number, and then accession number 2. This is pasted over here. It is pasted on the spine of the book, but in case it cannot be, spine is not broad enough to accommodate the full barcode label, then it is pasted over here. It is pasted under the due date slip and it is pasted on the last page of the book. And another important information which is added in the book at the time of identification or when the book arrives in the acquisition section is that book is marked with a stamp. That stamp bears the name of the library, accession number, source from which vendor it was acquired, price of the book, bill and date. These are very important things from audit point of view, and the center or school which recommended the book, and name of the cataloger is also added over here. Then book cards are prepared, which book cards are very important. They are retained with readers' tickets when the books are issued out. Once the book has been catalogued, once the book has been classified and technical processing is over, a list of books is prepared. Then those books are released for Monday display. Books are kept for a week or two in Monday display and then they are organized on shelves. Organization is done in keeping with the subject, with the class number of the books. As I said, all books in a particular subject are put together. And when students use, they are advised not to keep the books back on shelves. They use the book, they browse the book, they keep it on the tables. Then our staff, library staff, takes the books back to shelves and reorganizes them. So this process goes on. Books are acquired by the library, physical processing is done, it goes to technical section and then technical processing is done, list of new books is prepared and books are sent for Monday display, and for after a week or two they are sent back to shelf. They are organized on shelves in keeping with classification numbers which they bear, and once the students use books, they do not shelf, they are advised not to shelf it by themselves, but they leave it on the table and the staff collects the books from the tables and reorganizes them. So materials which are required for physical processing, as you know, these things are used: cellophane paper, library labels, library property stamps, book pockets, book cards, book tags, due date slip. Today we have seen what is the importance of physical processing of the books, different components of processing which are physical processing and technical processing, the various tools of classification which are used, and various tools for cataloging which are used by the libraries. Today we have discussed the processing of documents in the libraries. As we know, libraries procure reading material in different forms like books, periodicals, theses and dissertations, and these need to be processed before they are put on shelves for circulation and use. The processing work comprises two components: physical processing and technical processing. Technical processing further consists of two components, that is classification and cataloging. The acquisition section is interested with the work of physically processing the documents. Once the documents are physically processed, they are sent to technical section for technical processing of the documents. Once the documents are physically as well as technically processed, a list of documents is prepared and the books are sent for Monday display. Books are kept on display for a couple of weeks before they are organized on shelves for use and circulation. Students are advised to take books, to browse books from the shelves. They are advised not to reshelve the books by themselves. They are supposed to leave the books on the table after use, and library staff collects the books and reorganizes them on shelves, and this process goes on. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this valuable presentation. Today we have learned how books are processed in the libraries.